This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, March the 25th of, am I correct? Yes, I am. March 25th is a baseball pitcher who now turns 56 years old. He pitched for Atlanta for many years. He was Atlanta's top pitcher for a while. And then he joined the Mets for 4 years, which was like, what the heck? Anyway, Tom Glavine had the second highest wins of a pitcher in the 1990s, behind only his teammate Greg Maddux, who had 176. So Glavine's 164 wins was huge. Anyway, he was a 5-time 20-game winner and a 2-time Cy Young winner, and one of only 24 pitchers to get 300 career wins. Ironically enough, only 6 of them were lefties. He was named MVP of the 95 World Series when the Braves finally got their first title since leaving Milwaukee for Atlanta. He was named to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2014. In hockey, he actually was doing pretty well. He was a star senior hockey player. And ironically enough, he was actually drafted by the Los Angeles Kings in the 1984 NHL Draft. In the fourth round, which was weird. That famous 84 NHL Draft was known for Montreal getting Peter Svoboda, who defected from Czechoslovakia. And then, Patrick Waugh, that was Martin Lemieux's draft year. And weirdly enough, Glavine was drafted 2 rounds ahead of Brett Hull, who was drafted in the 6th round, and Luc Robitaille, who was drafted in the 9th round, who ironically are in the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Braves drafted him in the 2nd round of the baseball draft, and he decided to play baseball. He made his Braves debut in 1987. He had mixed results. He didn't do so well in the majors by 1991. Well, Atlanta was kind of an afterthought in baseball. Anyway, his fortunes turned around in 1991 when he won 20 games and posted a 2.55 earned run average. His first of 3 consecutive seasons with 20 or more wins, which got him the Cy Young in 91. He was the ace of the 91 Braves starting rotation that turned things around for the Braves, from worst in the National League to winning the National League title and getting to the World Series in 91, which was one of the greatest of all time. So Glavine did fantastic and all that. Glavine became the last major league pitcher to win 20 games in 3 straight years, 91, 92, 93. Not even Greg Maddux did that. Glavine was the lefty arm that the Braves needed for the rotation. Greg Maddux was the righty pitcher. So anyway, Glavine, Maddux, and John Smoltz was one of the best pitching rotations in baseball history in 93. Sadly, though, they fell to the Phillies in the NLCS, which should not have happened. In fact, 7 of the 8 Cy Youngs between 1991 and 1998 were won by either Maddux, Glavine, or Smoltz. I don't know who was the only guy to break that. I would say Kevin Brown, but I'm wrong. Anyway, Glavine won his 2nd Cy Young in 98, winning 20 games. It was amazing. The funny thing was that when Glavine, Maddux, and Smoltz were playing for different teams, Smoltz was still pitching for Atlanta, Maddux pitched for San Diego, and Glavine joined the Mets. They all won on the same day, June 27, 2007. However, Tom Glavine's best performance was at the 95 World Series, being World Series MVP. As the Braves took down the Indians in 6 games in the politically incorrect World Series, it's called, he would win games 2 and 6. And Game 6, he did well, pitching 1 hit shutout baseball through 8 innings. And of course, we all know about David Justice's home run in that game. He would pitch for the Braves in the 91, 92, 96, and 99 World Series, which saw them lose every time. The Twins, the Jays, the Yankees. So Glavine was a great lefty. And man, I can't believe he was a good hockey player too. Anyhow, the New York Mets picked him up in free agency. 4 years, $42 million. Glavine would struggle. He went in his first few years at Met, he was 9-14. All of that. Glavine then came back a little bit. He went to the NL All-Star team, but his second half went for shit, and he ended up being 11-14. Glavine was told to get a curveball into his repertoire from pitching coach Rick Peterson, and Glavine to pitch inside more often. Glavine had a massive turnaround. He did end up 13-13. And then in 2006, he did much better. He went to the All-Star game. He actually ended up winning 15 games. Only one back of second place. Only one back of the winner, the most wins in the NL. Unfortunately, Glavine got a scare. His pitching shoulder was tested for a blood clot because he had coldness in his left ring finger. He thought it was a symptom of his Raynaud's syndrome, which is a syndrome, spasm of small arteries because of numbness and all that. But it was a blood clot. The problem was treated with medicine, and Glavine resumed pitching. So he was 15-7, having the Mets win the NL East and get himself to the postseason with the Mets. He pitched Game 2 of the division series against the Dodgers and won that game. He pitched Game 1 in the NLCS against the Cardinals and got the win, and suffered a loss in Game 5, which saw the Mets lose the NLCS to the Cardinals in 7. Glavine re-signed with the Mets for the 2007 season, hell-bent on getting number 300, which he did on Sunday Night Baseball against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. And he got an RBI, too, which was funny. The Mets won 8-3. And Glavine became the 5th lefty to get 300 wins, joining Eddie Plank, Lefty Grove, Warren Spahn, and Steve Carlton. I completely forgot that Spahn was a lefty. And Eddie Plank was a lefty, too. Lefty Grove and Steve Carlton, I knew for sure were lefties. And Glavine, too. Randy Johnson got win number 300. And he's the last guy to get 300 wins. Anyway, Glavine pitched a pressure start against the Marlins on the final day of the 2007 season because the Mets squandered their NL East, mark. The Mets and Phillies were tied for the division and all that. If the Mets beat the Marlins, then they would they would either win the division, or if the Phillies had won, also a one-game playoff. Unfortunately, Glavine allowed 7 runs while recording only 1 out, and the Marlins shocked the Mets and gave the Mets one of the worst collapses in history. The 2007 Mets really collapsed. And all that. The Mets decided to decline their contract option. No, Glavine said he declined a 1-year, $13 million contract with them and all that. So the Mets, that crushing dive, like their choke, is remembered like the 64 Phillies and the 1987 Blue Jays. Oh, and the 2012 Texas Rangers? Yeah, I forgot about that too. Anyway, Glavine's number 47 would be retired by the Braves in 2010. Glavine rejoined the Braves in November 2007, getting a 1-year, $8 million contract. It was amazing that Glavine came back to Atlanta. And, he did his game. Unfortunately, a recurring shoulder injury would ruin his career after 2008 and all that. Yeah, Braves retired Glavine's number 47 in 2010, and Glavine was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2021. So he was a good lefty and all that. So anyway, he and his wife Christine have a family of 5 children. One of their sons, Peyton, was selected in the 2017 draft, but decided to play at Auburn and pitches for the Washington organization. Glavine is a Roman Catholic and all that. And his kids do play baseball and hockey. So anyway, he's an avid golfer and a good friend to baseball. So can't beat that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.